What's the scariest thing you've ever witnessed? Short disclaimer. I found all these stories on a forum where people share their dreams. Some of these stories may not be acceptable to some. Thanks for your attention. Don't forget to like and subscribe. When I was 13, my dad popping out like 30 sleeping pills in front of me and swallowing all of them in an attempt to kill himself. My mom refusing to call an ambulance, and I had to do it. The fire department arriving and keeping my dad awake as he swayed around and fell over and vomited in the yard. Then they took him to the hospital, and my drunk mom decided we should all get in the car and follow him, and then we crashed the car and almost died. I almost lost my whole family in one night. Honesley haven't thought about that night since I was a teenager still. Are you okay now? Honestly, man, no, I'm not. I have an okay job, but life seems pretty bleak, and I'm on my own, just me and my beloved dog at 30-yo. I'm trying my best to reconnect with friends and see my family enough. But my whole existence feels like, make the most of it because things only get worse. Always and only worse. I love and appreciate my life, but always in a depressed point of view. Sorry if I overshared, but you asked. This whole thread has got me emotional, and I'm sure a lot of people these days feel like I do. I used to work on offshore oil rigs. The generators that power them are the size of a small house. One day a technician forgot to lock out, tag out, while he was checking why we were having voltage drops on the pump floor. A supervisor came by and saw the third generator was off and decided to fire it up. I was in the room trying to find a replacement pump sensor when it clicked. Boom, pop, zap. I saw a human explode, turn to plasma, then carbonize. The sound and smell never leave. I once found myself crossing a very isolated walkway in my town at 1 a.m., no cars or any people in sight. While completely isolated, I met a group of 10 to 15 stray dogs from varying sizes coming from the opposite direction. I couldn't change my path or do anything about it. I needed to cross them. Some of them were quite big, but they were all kind of skinny, probably hungry, and one of the small asshole ones started barking and threatening me. That encouraged all of them to start barking and doing the same. I knew if one of them attacked me, if I ran or tried to fight back, it was game over. They were going to swarm and obliterate me. Death by being eviscerated by a dozen dogs. The thought alone made me shit myself completely. I ate the fear and just ignored them. They ended up not attacking, but that was a traumatic experience just cause of the implication of what could possibly happen. Not fun. Was on a run when I was 15-ish. Mom was at work and my sister was at school, so I was totally alone. Being that I did high school online at the time other than sports at the local high school, when I was a couple of blocks away, I got this really bad feeling like I was being followed, but it was like 10 a.m., so I tried not to think too much about it. A really bad habit I had post-workout was that, given we were in a rural area, I'd walk around the house without a shirt while making my protein shake and getting ready to soak in our hot tub. While doing these things, my dog started barking wildly, but I dismissed it as being some sort of animal in the woods. After about an hour, I went upstairs to change and once again heard my dogs barking at the fence line bordering the woods. When I looked out the window, I saw what looked like a man's shoulders in the top of his head facing our house directly in some bushes, maybe 10 feet from the fence. After I stood there in horror for a little while, he turned around and disappeared into the woods. I immediately called my mom, who called the police, and they checked the woods behind our house and didn't find anything. However, when Mom brought it up to some parents in the area, some said their sons also reported a creepy older dude following them in those woods and on the outskirts of the high school grounds. Needless to say, I switched to running on our treadmill for a long time and made a habit of keeping all of our blinds closed. Was pretty terrified of this guy like breaking into the house and coming after me too, so for a long time I kept my pocket knife on me at all times and walked around the house with my gas-powered BB gun. Thanks for watching. Write your story in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow.